I've never seen anything like this before.
Help me! Please, help! Kill me! Spell, keeping me alive. Kill her. Free me. She's coming. Look out! She's dead. Finally. The Drow used me in a ritual to wake up that creature. They used it to guard the portal. Yes. Speak the word Coulson Shea Orb at the brazier, and the portal will open for you. But before you go, please kill me. The spider was keeping me alive like this. There's no hope for me, so please end my suffering.
I guess we should get to that portal. I don't want to stand around here anymore. Wow. I've never been to the Underdark before. I think I'd like to go back now.
I recognize this place. This is where I met Tezzeret, and where we hid from the Duergar. Tezzeret had been on the run from the Drow for decades. She knew all sorts of bolt holes, small caves, and even portals that led to places the Drow and Duergar couldn't find. If I'm not mistaken, there's one nearby. But it has been a while since I was last here. Tezzeret is a Drow priestess of Ilistrae, the Drow goddess of beauty and the moon, and patroness of good Drow. She found me hurt and starving among the caves near here, and she took pity on me. She turned away the Drow that were hunting me, and she taught me much about the moon and the gods. Without her, I wouldn't be alive today, much less a follower of Zehni.
So you have had Drow friends. Perhaps we can be cordial after all.
I have met exactly one Drow who wouldn't as soon skin me alive as say good day. That does not give me a shining impression of your people.
Then allow me to be the second to say good day, Lydia.
The Duergar make slaves of outsiders they find roaming this area. I had just left slavery in Menzoberranzan. I was in no hurry to seek employment in Gracklstew. The campsite of which I'm thinking was located behind a magical portal. Tezzeret was able to change its place of origin, so the entrance was never in the same place twice.
Rather brilliant, that is.
If I did, I'd have done that by now. We lost touch more than a decade ago. I don't even know for sure that the campsite still exists. There was an attunement crystal that maintained the portals in this area. I'm not sure how it works, but if we can find it, maybe it can direct us to the campsite. The longer we deliberate, the closer Tassilis gets to the moon tier. I suggest we find that crystal, and do it quickly. Look here. This is an attunement crystal. It's what Tezzeret was using to maintain the portals. This should point each portal to a location, one of which being her camp. But it doesn't seem to be active right now. Someone must have tampered with it. Maybe, but I don't know how. Maybe these symbols on the ground have something to do with it. They seem to be Drow in origin. That's her. That's Tezzeret. She was my friend and mentor. And now, I guess she's dead.
It seems that way. They tore the camp apart, stole pretty much everything, and murdered her on the way out. This kind of brutal efficiency could only have been the work of the Duergar. It was. But nothing can be hidden forever. Not when the Searcher is persistent enough. Of course, I will give her the rights of my goddess in hopes that she...
What are you doing? Leave Golgaman alone!
Just what we needed. A Darrow.
Silence, peasant! Don't you know to kneel and avert your eyes in the presence of Ishkin, Lord of the Dark? It's a sharpened blade on a stick fired from a bow. What, do you have a head cold and a case of the stupids? Golgaman? I did nothing to him. He is my faithful companion and confidant. He oversees all of my business transactions and lends this place a hearty aroma.
This Golgaman of yours was my friend. She has been dead for many a 10-day.
No wonder Golgaman never talks back. I thought I was going deaf. Obviously. Now, what to do about it? Clearly, killing you would be too simple. So I think I'll let you live. I was here with Golgaman one day, eating soup and hiding from Duergar patrols. At some point, I commenced an inspection of the portal leading out of here, and I may have led the Duergar right to my secret camp.
So it's your fault Tezere's dead. You led the Duergar right to her.
I don't know who this Tezere is, but I bet she doesn't interrupt people when they're telling stories. Anyway, they found the camp entrance and stormed right in, stole everything, and killed Golgaman, who is dead. The Duergar demanded something called a moon tear. I knew nothing of it, so I tactically retreated. Golgaman fought back, but there wasn't much he could do. They took the crystal and killed Golgaman.
Tezere had the moon tear.
Yes, Golgaman kept talking about how it was our only hope. Its heart had to be cleansed and so on. Golgaman was always talking crazy, until he died. I'd say they took it to Gracklestew. That's really the only place they seem to take anything. They're not terribly imaginative.
We have to get into the Duergar city.
Oh, I can get you in there, easy. But I demand tribute in the form of foodstuffs and water. I'll even open my market to you. Golgaman would be glad to serve you. He has black market contacts and is dead.
I can't abide his treatment of Tezere's corpse. But her body is but a shell. And if we're going to Gracklestew, we'll likely need his help.
Excellent! Golgaman doubted you, but I never did. You'll need the attunement stone, though, or else the way out will never open.
You mean the stone for that device over there?
Yes, I stole it from the Duergar to lock the rest of them in. Tired of people marching around in my kingdom uninvited. I hid it away where no one would find it. You should have seen them scurrying around trying to find a way out. Some even tried climbing. Didn't work out.
That portal was Tezere's only method of escape. It's your fault she was killed. And it's your fault we're stuck here too.
Still don't know who this Tezere is, but I can tell you where to get the stone. Fetching is better suited for peasants anyway. I left it with my good friend Balvish. He likes to eat his picnics out along the western ledges. That way, he can share with all the friendly burrowers. He should be through one of the other portals just west from here, I think. Which direction is west again? I suppose I could just show you where it is if you're that desperate to have me tag along. Or Golgaman and I can leave for your camp right away. There are plenty of living arrangements to take care of, after all. I hope you've brought enough cheese. He's very particular about his cheeses. We'll have to discuss which of your companions will be handling his foot massages as well.
You travel with caution, but with purpose. The barely comprehensible directions of an insane Darrow, your only guide through the fetid caves and glowing fungal forests of the Underdark. The Moontear beckons from the Duergar city of Gracklstool, but your band grows weary. Lies tear at the foundation of your fellowship, while uncertainty nips at your heels. How far will the Gilded Eye go to hunt you? Is your every step preordained by the works of Tasilis Chafir and the unthinkably powerful Belafos the Mad? The shadows seem to writhe this deep inside the world, and you move over crags and catwalks, through caverns and alongside underground lakes, until the City of Blades looms massive up ahead. Your band stops to rest in the sight of those imposing, emotionless ramparts, and as the camp is set, your mind wanders once more. In the silence of rest, you find a different kind of peace.
Hey, wake up, you flailing beast! You're scaring the wolves! You were thrashing around in your sleep. The trail boss thought you might need to be brutally murdered. Tell me about it. I keep dreaming that the world's gonna end. And then I wake up. And much to my disappointment, everything's still here. But we're not being paid to stand round and talk about dreams. Belafos is waiting for your ugly hide at the bridge. He's probably up there causing mischief as we speak. Of course not, you blasted wretch. That fool halfling is dead and rotten in the ground. Now get you going. The Mad One isn't known for being patient. Maybe you should be asking him that. It's not really me place to speak for the Master. Belafos will fill you in when you meet him at the bridge. Aye, unless you want to be flayed, deboned, and served to the Vrox for chum, you should. Can't say I'd rightly mind seeing that, to be honest. Now get going. The world won't be ending itself.
Fine morning to you. I was just feasting on the entrails of these innocents, all in a day's work for Belafos Deathbringer. I was searching for wasted souls, and I heard these people praying. As you know, I have a bit of a temper. There, I hear the glorious screaming of abandoned friends, the crunching of splintered bone. Nightmares? No. This is your soul, burning, screaming for relief, begging to be devoured. Run along. Try to protect your friends back at your camp. You will see what comes of them in the end.
How can you serve the illustrious Lord of the Dark? Shh! He can hear you. Or he could if he were alive. What do you mean? It's just a corpse. Why are you acting like it's a real person? Maybe you are demon-possessed after all. I'm playing with you. I found him lying there in that camp where you found me, and he looked like he needed a job, so there we go. I literally threw everything I owned at him, and he never complained. The perfect shop apprentice. I see no one here trusts me. But I am always what I am. You just have to figure out what that is. It's not as if I like to dismember people randomly. I choose very deliberately. For example, if you're a friend of mine, you get priority. No, I said they get priority. Keep up. Well, therein lies a tale. I was born fully formed in the coin purse of a Kuatoa named Flibblebloop. No, wait, it was his belt pouch. Either way, I killed him. I wasn't always Lord of the Dark, you know. There were others before me, and there will be others after me. That's how time works. I figured that out. Me. Needless to say, I was surrounded by cracked eggshells and a wall of bones that I called Muro. And it wasn't enough. I had to do something, and I don't remember what that something was. So, I'll tell you this other story. There was one time I was captured by ogres and taken to a forest of myconid houses. That was a low time in my life. I remember it fondly. Long story short, I escaped from my bindings, slaughtered the ogres single-handedly, and I fed their flesh to the myconid children. I became a mushroom hero that day, moments before they exiled me for also killing myconids. I'm tired. But nap, boy! I desire sleeps. Yes, I'm starting to feel stabby.
We must talk. I cannot abide that Ishkin creature's treatment of my mentor's corpse. He desecrates her memory by his mere presence, and I will not stand for it. That said, this quest is as much yours as mine, and I understand why we need him. So please, do me the favor of asking Ishkin to allow Tezere's corpse to be buried. Thank you. It will put my heart to rest once my good mentor has received her final rites. Now we can talk about something else. In reading through Tezere's journals, I have found a peculiar list. On it are names of people she tried to save, and one of them is my childhood friend, Serik. If he lives, then I am not the only survivor of my village. The list says that he was being held captive by a drow priestess named Zinciana. I have never heard that name, but I wonder if perhaps our resident spy has. I would appreciate it if you could speak to Dalinir about this. If he knows the name, he might know where we could find Zinciana, and perhaps Serik. Yes, he was. If the gods smile on us this day, and we can save him from captivity, then perhaps I have been forgiven for my childhood mistake. I am sorry. Finding Tezere's body here, it has shaken me. And that foul creature's treatment of her only makes it worse. The Lady of Dreams go with you.
What do you need? Everything I've heard about the Duergar tells me that Grackle Stew is no place for a woman like me. I enjoy dancing, singing, and other forms of social amusement. A life that's all about work sounds terribly boring. Though, I guess that depends on the work. Let me continue my story. I had met up with rangers in the Ardeep Forest. They taught me all kinds of things, not just how to track and hunt, but also the secrets of nature's predators and prey. The Ardeep became home, until the elves of the Eldrith Valuthra found us. They had sworn to clear the forest of all humans, to return it to its natural state. We had a tiny problem with that. So we fought, and as things tend to go with elves, they won. They did. We had to split up in case the elves came hunting for us. I disappeared into the Neverwinter Wood, surviving on my wits and my wiles, until the day Bellamy found me. He told me of the Burning Dawn. He said they would train us, equip us, pay us, feed us, and it sounded too good to be true. But I could tell my dear brother was sick and starving, and so I agreed to join him in the Order. Yes, almost. My mentors in the Burning Dawn saw something in me that no one else had. They began training me for leadership. That's why I was in the other caravan, and that's why I was captured rather than killed. Our captors noticed the others deferring to me, and assumed I was the field leader. They threw me in that cell and tortured me, until there was almost nothing left. Thank all the gods that will listen that you arrived when you did. I would still have made my escape, but would I have survived the attempt? I am not so sure. Well, yes, I can. But even a sly young woman such as myself can only do so much to charm a castle full of zealous knights. I would have taken many out before I fell, but Jasiah, I think, would have slit me stem to stern. I'm afraid there isn't anything else of interest. You've bled me dry, so to speak. From here out, we make history as we go. Come back anytime. I'll be waiting.
What do you need? We have the most wonderful traveling companions. First a drow, and now a Darrow. If I weren't pretty much constantly afraid that one or the other would kill me just to harvest my spine, I'd be really impressed. I think I remember where we were. So, I think we were talking about my Uncle Kipper. He wasn't really my uncle, but he did take me in when my parents had run out of patience. He took me away from home to the town of Longsaddle, and he told me that I was a talented boy. I had no idea what he meant until the day I repeated some words he taught me, and a ray of frost shot from my fingertip. On that day, I was no longer a boy who had failed to be a farmer. I was a wizard. Uncle Kipper introduced me to the Harples, who took me in as if I was one of their own. They taught me magic, let me experiment, and kept a roof over my head when no one else would. And of course, now we know that they were my blood relatives all along, which makes the whole thing make more sense now that I think of it. Yes, I had. Thanks for reminding me. Necromancy was never something the Harples really wanted to teach, but I had a particular aptitude for it. I'm not sure why. I guess I always liked gross things. Bugs, dirt, day-old fiddlehead soup. Anyway, I'd obtained a few scrolls Kipper had forbidden me to read, and I tried to cast them. Without realizing it, I'd managed to animate Kipper's dead cat and a squirrel that had once gotten too close to a bidadoo. Ugh. Sorry. It's still fresh, I guess. It really hurt to be exiled. They were the only people that have truly accepted me. And it didn't last. That's really nice of you to say. And I'm not just saying that because it's exactly what I wanted to hear. I need to rest for a bit if that's all right. Maybe we can talk more another time. All right. You know where to find me.
I saw you speaking with Lydia. I have seen this list of hers with the names of drow slaves whom Tezzeret hoped to save. And yes, I have heard of Lady Zinciana. I am a diviner and a spy, my friend. Lady Zinciana is a high priestess of love. It would amuse her to keep a moon elf slave. She would lavish him with gifts and praise and take it all away at the slightest provocation. She ministers at the Shrine of Lolth at Undok. I'll happily mark it on our map if you and Lydia want to confront her. Of course. Anything to help our mutual friend. Legions of grey dwarves marching in unison like clockwork. I sense a dangerous mind subjugated by something even more powerful. Hazy, but inevitable without a doubt. Let me continue my story. Our trip through the Underdark has stirred memories long forgotten. Memories of my brother and I fleeing, and our sister pursuing. Tasilis protected me the best he could until I reached the age of 20. By then, my mother's dishonor over my continued survival had reached a dangerous level. And my brother decided that we needed to abandon Menzoberranzan. We fled through the Underdark, unsure where to go or whom to trust, our sister seemingly moments behind us at all times. We both honed our magical abilities, and we used them to remain undetected. We were on the run for more than 30 years before our sister finally caught up with us. We escaped, but barely. And my brother decided that our talents alone were not enough. He began to seek out darker protection. Tasilis sought out a powerful patron, giving himself over to the study of dark magics. I could sense Belafos's abyssal influence coursing through my brother from the beginning. He became rougher, meaner, more impatient, more unpredictable. Eventually, I came to fear him. Still, I confronted him, and he nearly killed me in his rage. I fled, searching for a way to the surface, and I fell into the arms of Bragan Death, who promised protection in return for service. And here we are. I am who I am, and Tassilis is who he is. Neither of us will likely change the other, and so there is but one way this can end. No, I truly do not. I suppose that defeating Belafos could free him from service, but the brother that saved me from a sacrificial death no longer exists. It has been wonderful. We must do this again sometime.
The time has come for me to ask for your assistance in a personal matter. I've received troubling reports from the Gilded Eye chapter house. In the wake of your recent visit, many of Jesia's followers have been vying for power. The dissenters disapprove of my traveling with you. They believe me soft, or accuse me of being influenced by demonic powers. And I cannot deny that the evidence is compelling. The sooner we do, the easier it will be to rout this rebellion and resume tracking down your demon and its minions. It would be to our strategic advantage to clear this potential front of enemies. Of course, allying with Darrow is not what I would consider a wise strategy. He may, however, be useful in the now, even if he must be cleansed from this world in the time to come. I suppose if we are to travel the Underdark together, it would be well if the two of us came to understand each other better. My youth is of little consequence. Know only that I was a young boy from the southerly reaches of the Sword Coast. My family has Kalishite blood, but we came to these lands generations ago. I was raised with a respect for the sanctity of life and the value of righteousness. My father instilled in me the importance of protecting those who cannot protect themselves. So it was that I found myself pledging my service to Helm in my 20th year. It was a glorious revelation to give of oneself in the veneration of and supplication to such a powerful patron as the Guardian. I quickly became squire to Rochelt Panagrin, a knight of the Order of the Gauntlet. Rochelt mentored me in the ways of battle and in the doctrines of Helm. It was through his teaching that I learned the true meaning of taking up the sword for the Guardian. And it is through his loss that I became who I am. Indeed, his screams, his corpse, these I shall never forget. Rochelt and I rode out to battle at Helm's Hold to stop an invasion of devils from establishing a foothold on this plain. We fought fiercely to defeat the fiends, but my mentor and I were separated, and I saw him disappear beneath an onslaught of infernal flesh. By the time the battle was over, and I reached his side, he was unrecognizable. The devils had taken all that made him Rochelt Panagrin, and turned him into a lifeless corpse, defiled and desecrated. To this day, I cannot forget the image. The split cheeks, the crushed skull, the collapsed and sundered chest. No, it is more than that. It is unforgivable. I have devotions to perform. Perhaps we will revisit the past another time. As you will.
What can I do for you? You best not trust that Darrow any further than you could throw him. We might need him for the quest, but he wouldn't hesitate to toss us down a ravine if he decided it'd be fun. All right. Where were we? I helped out in the forge as far back as I can remember. Me dad said I'd a natural hammer-swinging arm, and that I knew how to center myself to get extra power on the blow. Oh, he was right. He found out how right he was the night we got burgled. Thugs burst into the shop and started tearing up the place, and me dad just cowered there and gave them everything they wanted. When the robbers were off collecting their booty, I picked up me hammer and started swinging, took the face off one of them, and the other two turned and ran into the night. From then on, I was the shop's bouncer. Me dad never made me work the forge again, and I got it into me head that there might be another way to live me life. I told me ma that I wanted to get out, to see the world, and to learn to fight, and she said, well, you can break people's bones just fine here at home, you don't need to go anywhere else to do it. She said I had to choose, me travels or me family. It wasn't an easy decision. But here we are. You know, I think I'd like to be alone for a bit. I'm sure I'll feel more like talking about me past some other time. Don't be a stranger.
What do you need? Liddy's pretty broken up about Tezzeret. I hate seeing her like this. All right, where were we? After my mother died, I was pretty low. I didn't know how to support myself without taking jobs, but I didn't want to do anything to disrespect my ma's memory. I wound up taking a merchant escort job for nearly nothing, and that took me out near the Evermores. Along the way, we found this young, elven priestess. She was hungry, deeply wounded, but confident, passionate. She joined the caravan and we became friends. She was just getting to know her goddess back then, and I got to see the faith bloom in her. Nothing more glorious in the world than an elf finding her way. Since then, we've been inseparable. We've kept each other safe, and she stopped me from heading back down the wrong path. That's all there is to it. Dreams wander, and she's likely the best woman I'll ever meet. But we're not there. We're closer than family. Someday, maybe. But, yeah. Thanks for listening to me prattle on. Now you know me better than my own mother. Like most people, I guess. Don't be a stranger.
How can you serve the illustrious Lord of the Dark? Shh! He can hear you. Or he could if he were alive. Well, she does she? Well, tell her I will gladly bury Golgman the instant she comes over here and gives me a stern expression. On second thought, not even then. No, not even the baleful eyes of a surface elf can frighten me. I am the Lord of the Dark! You know what? Take it. Golgman was acting strange anyway. Insisting that he's the king of the Sturges, that sort of thing. I hope that elf is happy. Yes, I'm starting to feel stabby.
Have you spoken to Dalanir yet? Thank you. I will perform the final rites over her at our first opportunity. At last, my mentor and savior can find rest. The Lady of Dreams go with you.
A moment of your time, if I may. Perhaps you've heard of Benyago Kurth, the High Captain of Ship Kurth in Luskan. I have received a missive from him, and I'd like to share it with you. My friend, it has been too long since we spoke, but I do not forget those whose actions have helped me in the past. The time has come that I repay a debt long past due. I have information regarding the whereabouts of your sister, the Lady Talistra. Should you find yourself interested, contact our mutual friend Valag. He will facilitate your reunion. Yes, she was. My past with Talistra is complicated. But when High Captain Kurth decides to pay a debt, one does not let that offer dry on the vine. I haven't met with Valag in a long time, but he is a friend from far back. If he is to be the agent of Benyago's favor, then he will make his presence known. Likely in the Underdark. If we have a moment to breathe on this quest, then I would be very grateful for a chance to look into this. I don't foresee it distracting us for long. In the meantime, is there anything I can do for you? It has been wonderful. We must do this again sometime.
Otyros! Leonin! In the name of Helm, what has happened here?
Apologies, High Commander. We have failed you.
It was Maros. With your absence, that snake has undermined you. He claimed that you had joined the demon spawn. And yet now, I see that not all his words were lies.
They speak true. We have common cause. The defeat of Belafos the Mad.
Belafos. The demon's timing could not be more disadvantageous. We tried to rally those who remained loyal. As you can bear witness to, we were defeated.
As I said, it is Maros Carter that runs the chapter house now. He holds swift trials, followed by swifter executions, for those who refuse to pledge service to him.
How strange to hear such words coming from such as these. But it is good.
Come. It is time to leave your cage and take back our guild. For Helm!
For Helm!
Javen, Tarmakos, welcome home. Jessia knew you were soft, Tarmakos. She understood your convictions, didn't go far enough. And now, because of your inept crusade, Jessia is dead. And you have allied yourself with her murderers. I smell the demon's touch on you, High Commander. I have taken your order from you because you are no longer fit to lead. I did what my god required, nothing more. Still, it does not surprise me that you have so terribly misinterpreted my actions. Your blasphemy ends now, betrayer. Helm, guide my wrath.
The blood of many good knights stains the halls of our chapter house. But I believe we have excised the poison from within our ranks. Helm does not rejoice in senseless slaughter. Perhaps I should leave rebuilding to those whose hands are not slick with the blood of Helm's servants. Few people in this world are truly innocent. But perhaps faith alone is not enough to convict someone for a mortal offense. I have much to contemplate, many prayers to make. But we have a demon to defeat, and I will take no more of your time. Thank you for helping me. Helm be with you. What you have done for me, the very man who ordered your loved ones executed, is beyond my expectations. I am unsure now. I have sworn to protect this world from demons, and I sense a demon's influence on your destiny. Yet time and again, you have proven yourself the hero, risking yourself to aid those most in need. Whatever may come, whatever we may be required to do by our respective oaths, know that you have shown me the truth of your soul. The most valuable words are never easy to speak. Those of friendship, honor, and self-reflection. The effort spent only increases their veracity. Of course, allying with Darrow is not what I would consider a wise strategy. He may, however, be useful in the now, even if he must be cleansed from this world in the time to come. Perhaps another time would be better. I wish to keep my mind on the task my guardian has given me. As you will.
The air ripples with foulness, dear Serek. I abhor the presence of interlopers.
I will deal with them, mistress.
It's him. It's Serek. Serek. What has she done to you?
I know that voice. Echoes from the past. Love and hatred. Such hate. Rescue me? For nearly a century I've been the faithful servant of Lady Zinciana. There is no rescue here, for me or for you.
Ceric, please, remember. We played together as children. We picked flowers and climbed trees. We made promises to one another, the kind that only foolish children ever make.
I remember. Before the raid. Before
the Drow took us and made us into slaves. You can do this. Zinciana may be your mistress, but I am, and always have been, your friend.
Ceric, dear, my patience wears thin. Deal with them before I am forced to bloody my own hands.
No, I can't. I remember. I remember you. And you, mistress. You killed my family.
And thus ends our working relationship, elf. Say your goodbyes to your friend. You shall perish together.
Ceric, my dear friend, I am so sorry.
I do remember you, Lydia. We were not allowed to play together. And then the Drow raided us.
Yes. It is all my fault, dear Ceric. The raids, the deaths, all of it. My penance is nothing compared to my crime.
I remember what happened. The Drow attacked us. We never knew how they found our village or why. But they set upon us like animals. They killed many. And those they didn't kill, they captured as slaves. Zinciana took me. And she treated me well enough. Like a favored pet. But my family fought. And for that they died slow deaths. You are very kind, but I need to take some time. The Underdark has been my home for a century now. The Drow, my family. I am no longer sure where I truly belong. Illydia, I imagine you seek forgiveness and reconciliation. But I am not certain I can offer those things. I am a broken man.
I can help you, Ceric. With Sehanine Moonbow's light, I can show you the way.
Perhaps, one day. For now, I wish to seek my own truth. You have, at the very least, returned that opportunity to me. I would be most grateful for that.
I wish things were different, Ceric.
Now, thanks to you and your friends, they may be. And here is where we part ways. You have given me a new life, Illydia. I do not know what that will bring. I want you to have this. It belonged to my mother. When life becomes unbearable, look upon it, and remember that I walk free only because you searched for me.
Should you ever need anything, I will do what I can to provide. May the Lady of Dreams do all she can to protect and keep you.
Ah, there you are. You've brought friends.
You can trust them, Valak, on my reputation.
It matters not. This meeting is a courtesy for Beniago, nothing more. What you do with the information is up to you. Dalinir, ask your friends to consider their words carefully. I'm not here for them. You are aware of Belvoir Mine, I take it.
Of course.
Your sister, the esteemed Lady Telistra Shafir, awaits you there. She is understandably anxious to see you.
Ha! Yes, I imagine she is.
Regardless, it is true, and thus ends my obligation to you. I will mark its location on your map, so that your friends will not get lost along the way.
My thanks, Valak. Give my regards to Ben Yaga.
But of course, I live to be the middleman for your communications. Best of luck.
Talistra awaits.
Well, that's interesting. When Beniargo pays a debt, he repays it with interest. I am not certain. Common sense dictates that I kill her. After all, she has hunted me more or less since my birth. There would be a certain peace that comes from knowing that she is dead, wouldn't you say? Regardless, we must deal with the situation. Beniargo has provided me with a gift at the Belvoir mine. It is my responsibility to collect it. At our earliest convenience, of course.
Dalanir Chafir. I wasn't sure you'd make it this far.
Yes, well, someone forgot to disable the traps along the way. Interesting oversight. Interesting oversight.
Yes. Yes, oversight. Exactly. The Lady Talistra awaits. Beniargo has decreed that you alone shall determine her fate. I might suggest that you run her through with all haste. No. Once you get to know her, your decision will be simple. She is held in a magical binding, but I consider her far from helpless. We have removed her equipment, including this amulet, which seemed to anger her to no end. It must have some power we can't detect. Of course. Just be careful with that. It makes me uneasy. Give that harpy my regards.
Come in, little brother. Let me look at you. My, how you've grown. Mother would be proud that her unwanted son has done so well for himself.
You know, sister, I've often dreaded the day when we would meet face to face once more. If I had known it would be like this, perhaps I would have felt differently.
My dear forsaken brother, don't insult me. I could escape this elementary cantrip anytime I please. I could have both you and Tasilis marching to the slave markets of Mantle Death with but a single wave of my hand. Hate is such a strong word, and yet too simple to describe my love for my brothers. It is for their own good that I wish them quick death. The alternatives are far worse. I hear our dear brother is consorting with a powerful demon. The Lady Zinciana says Lolth remains silent about Tasilis. But I plan to see him dead as much as you.
If you have something to say, I suggest you do it now.
You have a choice, dear brother. Kill me and risk the wrath of Lolth, or allow me to walk free and risk the wrath of Talistra. Such delicious blasphemy. Tell me, have you ever felt the wrath of a god? I assume from your flippant dismissal, you have not.
I agree. My dear sister, I had hoped you'd give me a reason not to do this. But you have only reinforced the necessity of ending your life.
So be it, dear one. A century of searching has come down to this moment. It is just as sweet as I imagined.
It is done. A century of hiding over in seconds. And yet, somehow unfulfilling.
I was glad to hear that witch's final screams. You did as Beniargo hoped you would. Take this letter and give it to our contact in Luskan. He will give you a gift. A little something further from Beniargo in the event that you made the correct choice. Go now and be safe out there.
Welcome to Darklake District. The only place in Gracklstew that non-Durgar are tolerated, except for us Darrow. See, I told you I'd get you here. You're looking for that moon tier thing, right? It's probably in Overlake Hold. That's where you can find the king, and I imagine he'd want it close. The only problem is the 10,000 angry Durgar between here and there. We're pretty much all going to die. I put 50 gold on the Durgar.
Then perhaps there is a more subtle approach.
We should speak with Omar and Nut. They're buffoons and well beneath me, and they pretty much want me dead, but they should be able to get us into the city, right before they kill me. I give the orders round here. Now, let's go.
The Lord of the Dump? Surely he's been a Hook Horror's dinner by now.
That's the Lord of the Dark, and I would have you eat those words if I did not require your assistance.
Our assistance? How precious. Did you eat some bad fungi?
Allow me to rub your belly with this dagger here. You want the amulets, I presume?
The amulets of disguise? To fool the guards at the gate? The only foolproof way for a foreigner to travel freely outside the Dark Lake district?
Yes, the amulets, and be quick with it.
We're all out.
Excuse me?
You are not the only ones who seek to disguise their appearance.
You want names? Fine. Seek out Zor, Thangar, Linzin, and... who has the last one?
Hee-hee! Eredin!
Oh yes, Eredin the Elf. Him too.
See? Now that wasn't so hard, was it? You shall be rewarded for your generosity.
Generosity is its own reward.
I hadn't heard that one before.
Welcome to Dark Lake Baked Goods and Other Foods. Feel free to buy something, if you want. Nope, everyone has to eat now. He does, or he did. He helped me with several of my deliveries. I've not heard from him in a few days. I sure hope nothing has happened to him. His tasks sent him often to the south side of the district. If I were desperate enough to find him, I might look there. But I wouldn't, because I'm too busy making pies. If you do find him, let me know. I'd very much like to have a conversation with him.
Go and bother someone else. Ask me something. Who do you think I am? I've killed people for saying my name wrong before, but only 2 people say it like that. Omar and Nut sent you, didn't they? I bet they want this amulet back. Well, too bad. I prefer this disguise to my real form. Nothing I intend to show you. Yeah? How about you go on a quest, where you leave me alone? Heh! Gold is easy to come by. Not a chance. Scram!
I couldn't... Oh, sure. But allow me to offer a suggestion. There is a certain sleeping poison I am acquainted with. Undetectable, and though it is non-lethal, he will be out for some time. I simply require a bit of cave moss, and it's all yours. Cave moss grows all throughout the Underdark. They're not difficult to find. You've probably come across them before. The pleasure of seeing that nuisance taken down a peg. Oh, and a minor convenience fee as well. See you soon. I've been expecting you. Got that cave moss? Yes, that will do. One moment. Here you are. I mixed it in with a bottle of wine. For such an idiot, he has surprisingly good taste. You will be paying extra for the wine, of course. A minor one. But I suspect you need this wine more than you need that gold. Here's the wine. Enjoy.
I thought I told you to get lost. Well, you were stupid to believe that. But I'll take that anyway. And if you slipped anything in there, it won't get past my senses. Hey! This is some pretty good stuff. And it's clean, too. Much appreciated. Now, scram!
Hey! Oh. Hey, hello there. You're not looking for anyone, are you? That depends. Who sent you? No! Oh, no! I'll go to all this trouble to get this stinking amulet, and Gorstaff still finds me! No matter what I do, he'll find me and kill me! That old bakery is just cover for some really bad stuff. I can't handle it anymore. Look, if you can convince Gorstaff to just leave me alone, I'll gladly give you the amulet. I just want out with this whole mess. Thank you. And please, don't trust anything he says.
Welcome back. I hope you find Lindzen in good health. Afraid of me? He has quite an imagination. Sometimes think he longs to be an adventurer. However, Lindzen was working here because he owed me a debt. And until that debt is paid, I cannot accept his resignation. A shame, since he only had a single delivery left. I believe I have his papers right here. Yes, take a look if it pleases you. You can tell Lindzen that his debt is clear. His employment here has ended. But be sure to tell him I will always welcome him back if his fates change. I can be a very forgiving man. It has been a pleasure working with you.
Please, help me out with this mess, and the amulet is all yours. Really? How did you... Oh, wait, I don't want to know. Here you are, as promised. Thank you greatly. This is a massive weight off my shoulders. Oh, don't worry about me. I have nothing else to fear.